What is up, everybody? It's the boy Six Meister coming at y'all with a new what if, and this is gonna be what if Rin adopted Naruto. Before I actually explain what's gonna happen, please go down to the description, go join my public Discord. I'm online every day. I reply to almost every comment on in there, and we can have some fun conversations. Y'all can vote what happens in certain videos. Y'all can choose what video I might record on a certain day. And yeah, before we actually get into the video, I have to explain how this is gonna work. So the day Kakashi feels he killed Rin, he didn't actually kill her. Obito also believes she's dead, but when Kakashi took them back to the leaf, he did realize that Rin was alive. Or not Kakashi, I think it was Minato that took them. Yeah, Minato took Rin back to the leaf. Minato realizes that she's still alive. She gets healed, but she doesn't want to fight anymore. And he basically takes her away to somewhere in the mountains where she can be at peace with only a small village nearby. So no one there, no shinobi there, no one that can recognize her, nothing. So she's just a citizen that lives off in the mountains. That's all she is. But when Naruto's birth comes up, we have Minato asking Rin to be there when Kushina gives birth, but she has to pose as an Anbu to make sure nobody knows who she is. So let's get into this. So Rin is one of the people in the delivery room when Obito attacks and takes the baby, but no one realizes it's Obito, and Rin is basically just helping evacuate, and she actually saves who isn't the wife, so she's gonna be alive and all that shit. So we go ahead as canon up until the point where the Nine Tails is sealed in Naruto and Minato and Kushina die. Just before anyone could get there, Rin gets there, decides to take the baby away from all this hatred and destruction, and she takes him to the mountains where she lives. So Rin at this point is the Three-Tails Jinchuriki. I know there's a lot of y'all that's gonna be like, hey, you can't do that, blah 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 blah. It was decided in the fucking Discord. If y'all want any say over it, go join the Discord and argue there, because I don't want to hear any of it in the comments. And the next person to tell me I have a crap mic is getting banned. I'm in a bad mood, so don't try me. Okay, so what then happens is Rin raises Naruto for the next 4 years as you would any normal child, and through all these years that she's been alone, her and the Three-Tails have become one, or a perfect Jinchuriki, because they get along. She never treated it like a monster, because it could talk, it could make decisions. That means it has a consciousness, which means it is as close to a human as anything could get. So she never treated it badly, and it eventually accepted her. They became a perfect Jinchuriki, and whatsoever. So after Naruto turns 4, Rin decides she's gonna tell him, and Naruto is kind of devastated because she also tells him who his dad is. He was a hero. His mother was also a hero. She was a very vicious fighter, and a lot of those things. So what happens then is she starts teaching Naruto to treat the Nine Tails no matter how stubborn he is, because the Three-Tails said it's basically pointless because the Nine Tails has never accepted a human. He teaches Naruto, no matter how stubborn he is, always be nice, always show respect to him, be disrespectful or mean towards him, because he is more powerful than him, but he is a person of his own, which means you have to become friends with him instead of just pushing him away. And Naruto has entered his mind skip a few times. Kurama has tried to test him by pretending like he's gonna kill him, and Naruto would just walk up to his hands and like fucking start petting his paws and this would annoy Kurama first, but Naruto is now around the age of 6, and Kurama's getting more used to him. He just basically pretends he's asleep every time Naruto comes into the mindscape, and he feels he'll Naruto if anything happens to him. He hasn't accepted him as his host, but he has accepted him as a nice person. So he doesn't hate Naruto, but he doesn't like him either. So the least he do is heal Naruto in a bad situation, and their relationship is gonna start picking up here. Rin had decided to start training Naruto because Naruto is a Jinchuriki. That means he has to take up some larger training. And yes, Rin had been training in the mountains. She had not just been lazy, acting like a civilian. No, she had like tons of scrolls that taught her higher level ninjutsu. At this point, she's basically Jonin level, so maybe even high Anbu level if you think about it. So she starts learning, teaching Naruto the basics of chakra control. And the details had told her not only about the Uzumaki clan and how they have a lot. I'm not even kidding. A lot of fucking chakra. Like a Chunin Uzumaki has Kage level reserves, my guy. So that's a lot. Plus the Jinchuriki on top of that makes it so that this 6-year-old kid already has Kage level reserves, my guy. So she knows that she has to break him into chakra control early, and Kurama isn't putting all that pressure on him to mess up his chakra because basically he doesn't want to. He doesn't hate his host. He kind of accepted Naruto at this point, so why would he? So Naruto, after about another 2 years, can do all the basic chakra control exercise. He can walk on trees. He can walk on water. He can walk on slippery rocks and shit like that fucking filler episode we had in part one. Um, there was a few other like high fucking Ambu level shit, but she made sure that he would always remember to make sure he's a master at chakra control because that's his greatest downfall. She starts trying to teach him to do the clone jutsu, which he can. She realizes with the help of the three tails that this is because of his large chakra amounts and he should try to make more clones. So, because this is Genjutsu, Naruto, not actually a jutsu, even trying to create more clones doesn't really work, and he has to go further into chakra control. Rin remembers the third Hokage once talking to Minato about some of the exercises he did to get his chakra control on the levels they were, and she actually starts giving Naruto those exercises, and after a while he can make one perfect clone just because it's technically genjutsu, so he can make 1,000 and it would still take the same amount of chakra because once again genjutsu. And she actually decided to teach Naruto how to do the shadow clone jutsu because he has more than enough reserves. She estimates he can create over hundreds, but she teaches to him the normal shadow clone, and he can make 5 normal shadow clones without any backlash or anything like that. So she he's 8 at this point, and he can already do the shadow clone jutsu. And for the next year, she slowly starts teaching him more techniques. She already saw that he has a wind style, and because of his early chakra training, he can actually do lightning style too. And she actually remembers something Minato told her, that even though if someone does not have a Kekkei Genkai, if they have 2 different chakra natures, they can combine them to make a bootleg version of a Kekkei Genkai. So if you have wind and fire style, and you can cast fire style that has a delay on it, then wind style immediately after, you can get the closest version you can get to scorch style without actually having the Kekkei Genkai. So she actually thinks of swift release, which is something that is really unexplored in the Naruto universe, but she still just remembers it. It's in the back of her head, and she actually teaches him stuff like the wind style Gale Palm and a lot of the things Danzo did. She taught him how to focus chakra through a blade because he is a chakra control master at this point, and she also taught him how to do obviously a henge. He still developed the sexy jutsu, but not the sexy jutsu. He just calls it the enhanced transformation jutsu because it takes hundreds of times more chakra than a normal henge, and nobody can dispel it for you. You have to be the person to dispel it, so no one would even realize that it's a henge. The only thing they might realize is the difference in smell that you have or chakra levels, some shit like that. So it's still not perfect, but it's the closest thing you'll get to perfect. And Rin knows that Naruto is a fucking genius, and at this point, he's like 9.5, almost 10, and she decides to finally teach him the multi-shadow clones. And the first time he actually tries it, he conjures up almost 1,000 clones, just because his chakra reserves are actually higher because of all these Kage level fucking chakra training he did, so it's pretty high. Um, so we're basically gonna go with Naruto being OP as hell. So I'm gonna just make it so that I lost the train of thought now. She also decided to start teaching him how to channel lightning chakra through the sword just so that he gets basic lightning control, and she did teach him some hidden fucking cloud jutsu because they're known for the lightning style, and she kind of just remembers the Raikage's lightning armor, like legends fucking told to her by like Minato and shit. And Minato is a genius. He wrote down everything, including the Raikage's fucking lightning armor, and Rin basically has all his scrolls because that's where he stored all his jutsu. He didn't store it in the actual village because someone breaks into his house while he's not there. They're gonna be the OPest people fucking ever. So she has a scroll on the Flying Raijin, she has a scroll on the Rasengan, she has everything. And Naruto's about 10 when she decides to have him learn the Rasengan. She got the water balloon, she got the rubber ball, she got everything. At first, Naruto could not do it, but he does have better chakra control. So I'm gonna say in about a month, he learns the Rasengan, and he can actually do it. When she gives him another scroll and says like, "You're gonna do this on your own time because I can't even perform that jutsu." So yeah, and this is the scroll saying that um, basically how the Rasengan is an incomplete jutsu and you have to add a nature release to it to basically make it stronger. Um, and Naruto's like fascinated by this, but he decides he's gonna do that later. And at this point, he's a master at both wind style chakra control and lightning style chakra control. He just doesn't have a lot of jutsu on it. And Rin doesn't think it's yet time to teach him the Flying Raijin, so he's not gonna learn that yet. Um, but she does give him the early versions like that of the second Hokage, but not yet Minato level, so it has immense chakra drain, and Naruto can perform it about 20 times a day with his reserves, so he still can do it a lot, but that's still a lot of chakra drain, so he's not going to do it that often. And we also have Naruto basically fucking being able to do other stuff like uh he can do a bootleg version of the Chidori because this is actually what Rin's been working on most of the time. She remembered how powerful the Chidori was, and because she couldn't really do the Rasengan, she started studying how Kakashi did it, right? And she actually comes up with a lightning style technique called Purple Lightning. So yes, that's gonna be created by Rin in this one. Sorry everyone that Sasuke Sims, fuck y'all. Um, so she actually decides to teach Naruto the Purple Lightning, and when he's not training with her to do something, he actually practices on putting lightning style in the Rasengan because he already has the Chidori and or the Purple Lightning and the Rasengan. So what he'd usually do is he'd put one in each hand and then just meditate to the feeling of how it feels and then try to combine them. Most of the time he like creates some sort of an explosion or he hurts himself or something, but he's getting the hang of it. He is now 11, and Rin decides to start teaching him a minor version of the Raikage's lightning armor. So yeah, he's gonna have the lightning armor because that's like the OPest shit ever. And Minato literally writ it down in extreme detail and to how you can make it more powerful. And she also decided to practice on this bootleg swift release thing, and she started telling Naruto about it. There were scrolls from like Uzagakiri, so the land hidden in the whirlpools that Minato also stored there. They went through some scrolls of people that used to be able to do swift release, and Naruto basically studied it. And Naruto's beyond a prodigy. If he had this stuff in canon, he would have graduated by age 8 probably. So yeah, he then learns how swift release works, and by the time he's 12, he's actually learned to do swift release and somewhat mixed it into his lightning armor. But his lightning armor is far weaker than the Raikage's. All it really does is it ups bodily movement speed, reaction time, it increases vision, senses, all that stuff. So, and with the swift release added, it makes you twice as fast as you would be normally. So, it's like a massive boost. And Naruto can do it for like 2 hours before he has to deactivate it, because those 2 hours basically take up half of his reserves, and he's learned how to sense how much chakra he has left. And at this point, him and the Nine Tails are actually friends, and Rin actually has the Toad summoning. So Jiraiya doesn't knew that she had the Toad summoning, and Minato told Jiraiya that she's alive, but he never told Jiraiya where she was. So it's Naruto's 12th birthday. Um, the village thinks the Nine Tails is dead. Like the Hokage thinks the Nine Tails is dead. Danzo thinks the Nine Tails is dead. But Hiruzen secretly knows that the Nine Tails is not dead because Biju cannot be killed, and only a select few know this. So yeah, at least that was how it was supposed to be. I don't know what they did in canon, but fuck them. So Naruto and the Nine Tails decides to give Naruto a gift for his 12th birthday, and but he needs Rin's help, so he did psychically communicate with the Three Tails, telling him what he wants, and the Three Tails told Rin, and Rin now is gonna give him the scroll to unlock the Nine Tails as his 12th birthday gift. And I'ma say he Hiruzen did find out that Naruto is alive, because Rin did make an untrackable fucking noteworthy, like she went like to another village where she launched an eagle from there from to give the Hokage a note. So he knows Naruto's alive, and Naruto will return on his 12th birthday to become a shinobi, or after his 12th birthday, because they're already 12 by the time they graduate. So the next year, when the graduation exam happens, Naruto's gonna be there. Um, he unlocks the Nine Tails, and the Nine Tails is like, yeah, finally, this is hard. And the toads that Rin could summon was just Gamakichi and his brother. So she couldn't like summon Boss Toad or anything. She could summon them and the Scroll Toad that had Naruto's key. Um, so Naruto already unlocked the Nine Tails, and the Nine Tails can now shift the mindscape as he wants, and he actually just makes it into a giant field with some flowers and long grass, some hills, just to make it a little more comfortable with sun shining down on him, or mental sun, or whatever you call it. So I think we should leave it off here, guys. This has been your boy Six. Check out the Discord, TikTok, and avatars of the Meister Clan down in the description. Subscribe, comment what your favorite part of the video was. Um, Shout out to Lord Zoku, YK Anime, and Williams in my Discord for helping me with this. Peace.